It is a stream indeed, and my neck is killing me, and I think I found the source of my continuous neck problems being my fucking pillow, I think. Because I think like I slept in a very wonky position and therefore my neck is now still killing me. But I already took some painkillers and I had some massage thing going on and also applied heat several times to my neck, and it's a little bit better now. It's manageable now. Still painful, but I'm okay. How do things be? I see Ninja, Heck, and Salamander in here. How do things be? Happy Easter Monday in this case. For me, it's already Monday, but I figure I'll just put it down the time zone of the vast majority of our folks in. But happy Easter indeed to all of you. As for Easter, for people who think that it is all about the Easter Bunny, that's not what Easter is all about. Posted on Twitter, that little thing. And I should also post that maybe in our Discord for just a bit. By the way, hit it Cowboy, hit it Chronic, what's up? By the way, allow me to play a little song that I listen to quite often, and it's also, well, it's the same song that I posted on Twitter, but I feel like for those that haven't heard it, it's a very interesting song though, and I like the vibe of it, and it brings me peace and a little bit closer to any kind of like spiritual kind of thing than, you know, your modern day like rock band Christian music. Like I don't really like that much because it tries a little bit too much to be more of a pop song than actually what it's trying to do. So for me, like it's like the traditional things that really sit well with me. Don't worry, I won't play the entire song, but I like it. I don't know. It is like some kind of a meditative or like a good thing to meditate to as well. While also just being like within your own thoughts. It's something that I like to do from time to time. I used to do so with other kinds of music. Well, actually, I still do, but way less frequent, which is the name Cyber Zen, by the way, which was my previous name. Because I used to meditate to like cyberpunk ambience kind of music. It's a very like relaxing kind of music, which I don't mind playing later on as well if you guys want to hear that. But like this kind of gives me the same kind of situation, and puts me in the same kind of situation. Also, Latin is very cool. Absolutely love this. Like, can you, like, it would be really cool to hear this being sung like like in a traditional church. The architecture, um, that, that it is known to be, pristine and stuff like that. So that's why I'm thinking, like, this would be super cool. Why aren't we doing this more? But no, everything now has to be like some kind of stupid pop song, like pop rock kind of song in Christianity. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Bring back this. Bring back this, please. Reverb all the cathedral walls? Exactly. Because I think there's even like videos on this. I don't mind looking that up too. That there's videos of that, of people saying this song like in a traditional like cathedral church. It's absolutely amazing. And this basically goes like with the people who like Halo, for example, like the Halo theme song, when that is being sung by choir, especially in halls like, in a church or a cathedral or like in some monastery kind of thing. That is always like super cool. And it sounds very satisfying too. Like, why can't we have this more? There it is. Hang on, I found it. Okay, cool. Hang on, check this. And this is only 4 guys. This is only 4 dudes doing this. The reverb at the end, though, you can really tell like the acoustics do a shitload for this. Good stuff. I can imagine that. like having with the deeper voices. I think those also resonate better in these kind of halls. So, but yeah, like this was indeed, you know, see, why can't we have more of this? Like, let me put this in a little perspective for the modern gamers out there. I think many of you have probably seen or heard this one before. You know, as a little side joke, like no wonder churches in the Middle Ages were a banger basically. If you could listen to this every day, no wonder they were packed. It was a funny part though. Imagine if this was sung in, churches or chapels or cathedrals. Anyone who doesn't know Halo that tunes into this thing would be like, oh yeah, that's just regular church choir stuff. But the real gamers out there would be like, hang on a second, is that Halo? And then you would just sing along basically.
Are you going to finish that croissant?
You know that the dude in the middle is like a hardcore gamer, we know that. But he's like a hardcore gamer, probably Christian as well. Maybe not necessarily. I don't know. Could be. But most likely. But definitely a gamer. This is what you guys do. I was about to say Master Chef. You mean Gordon Ramsay? He's the Master Chef. Don't worry about that. It could also be autocorrect, so don't worry about it. Actually, there's been a video that I should have watched, but I forgot that. I should have been watching this, but I don't know if you guys would like to watch this together with me. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's a little interesting take on Easter in general, because I know people are still thinking like, oh, the Easter bunny, this and that. Well, that's not what Easter is about. Same thing with Christmas, for example. Everybody thinks that Christmas is all about Santa and presents. Well, it isn't. But yeah, this is like a thing that I think might be interesting in the season or the holidays that we are in. So
that's my prayer with this Triduum at the end of this Lent leading into Easter. Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. You know, all throughout Lent and all during Holy Week, in fact, during the life of Catholics, we often put in front of ourselves the crucifix, right? So it's a cross, of course, but it is the cross with the corpus, right? With the body of Jesus on it. And of course, we don't do that because we don't believe that we're not putting Jesus back on the cross. Like we know that he has conquered death. He's conquered the grave. He's risen from the dead. He's ascended to heaven. We know that. But we place in front of ourselves the image of Christ and him crucified for a number of reasons. Not to say he's not to say he's still on the cross. He's not, but to remind us of his love for us. To remind us of what he's done for us. I mean, that's so remarkable, but also to remind us of his identity and for us to ask the question, do I want to be associated with that? I love crucifixes. In fact, John Paul II's crucifix that he would have on his crozier, like the staff he had as a pope, is just like so cool. Here I am saying that's a really cool crucifix, but let's be honest, it's this image of Jesus just hanging. You can see like gravity pulling him down to the ground as he's just hanging from his wrists, hanging from his hands, from the nails. And there's a self-emptying there that it's powerful. I mean, even though it's death, it's powerful. In a lot of countries or cultures, they have crucifixes they have wounds, a lot of wounds on them, like the scourge marks. My mom in particular, she, at one point, for a little chapel space we have, when I come home, I used to be able, I still do, say mass, but my mom wanted a crucifix there. She wanted it to have the wounds of Jesus, not just his hands and his side and his feet. She wanted them to be like the scourge marks. And that is powerful too, because it's that image of, wow, Here's what the Lord has undergone for us. And this is what he's experienced for us. But recently I had an opportunity to help out with a pilgrimage of our students and some friends of Newman up here in Duluth to Poland. And beautiful churches.
Poland mentioned to us, Chris. Poland mentioned.
Incredible, just remarkable country, and a place where saints have lived and saints have died. And one of those saints is John Paul II, I mentioned before, in a place called Krakow. Let's be honest, Krakow. In the city of Krakow, there is the John Paul II Shrine, I think it is. And it's right across like a kind of a road from the Divine Mercy Shrine, which is also remarkable. But going into the John Paul II Shrine or John Paul II Center, I'm not sure what it's called, you walk in and beautiful. Take a left and there's the white cassock that John Paul II got shot in. And you can, there's no blood on it. And I remember I knelt down and just prayed in front of this, just asking for his intercession. You can see the bullet holes in his cassock that he was wearing as he was shot twice in the stomach. But then you go a little further and there's another little side chapel. And I'd been here before. I'd been here 2 years ago. And in that side chapel, there's a crucifix. And this is something that's kind of remarkable. I don't know if it's just particular to Poland or if it's to Europe. I don't know. But there's crucifixes there with real hair. Here's Jesus in the body on the cross with real hair. And there's something about that that's very unsettling. I'll say that like that. Something about the real hair that's unsettling. But there's something about this particular crucifix that I don't know if I can put into words. When you're in its presence, it's not just that there's real hair and it's kind of unnerving, but it's because that real hair is also unattractive. Another way to say it? And the body of Jesus on the cross is also, I don't have another way to say it other than it's unattractive. A lot of crucifixes have like Jesus with like broad shoulders and narrow waist, and he's kind of ripped, he's fit. He looks like, some crucifixes looks like he could be sleeping, right? Or it looks like he's undergone this dramatic, like, for lack of a better phrase, mangling. And there's something about both of those, right? Here's the strong, aesthetically pleasing, I guess, chiseled Jesus, and there's also the Jesus hit by a truck, and both of them are saying something different, but both of them have this appeal to them. That one is like, oh, he's strong and he's intact and he's beautiful, and the other one is, oh, he's been marred and he's been hurt, but that's also powerful. This crucifix, first time I saw it 2 years ago, I went there right away. I went right to kneel in front of John Paul II's cassock with the blood, asked for his intercession. Then I went right to the crucifix because I wanted to be there again, because I have no other word to describe this crucifix other than it's repulsive. Not repulsive in the sense of like, oh, a lot of wounds. Like, no, it's just ugly. Not ugly like the art is bad. Ugly in the sense of there is nothing attractive about this corpus on this cross. And it's so appealing because of that fact. I found myself praying in front of this crucifix for a long time, and I've reflected on it ever since we left. Because the thing that was convicting was this, was I'm standing at the foot of the cross there, at the foot of the crucifix, and I'm asking the question, would I want to be associated with him? Do I want to be identified with that? Because again, when there's a beautiful, again, aesthetically pleasing crucifix, like, yeah, that's my Lord. Or the crucifix that's been marred, like, yes, that is the God who loves. But what if he's just, I don't know, again, unappealing? What if it's Christ on the cross and he really, truly, like as it says in Isaiah, there was in him no stately bearing, nor appearance that make us look at him, but one from whom men would hide their faces. One from whom men would hide their faces. And I look at that crucifix and I think, that question, that's an image, right? That's the image of the one from whom we would hide our face. Do I want to be associated with him? As Christians, we know this. Christ has won. He's conquered. He is God. And we get to have these really beautiful depictions of him, whether that be in The Passion with Jim Caviezel, or in The Chosen with Jonathan Rumi, or the Franco Zeffirelli one way back in the day, Jesus of Nazareth. They're all like attractive Jesuses. And when I pray, you look at the artwork and they're typically like, oh no, what if it is just one as from whom men would hide their faces? What if it's a repulsive Jesus? This is not me just being a surface level, seeing as man sees, not as God sees. It's not like about attractiveness versus unattractiveness or beauty standards versus not beauty standards. What it is about there's something in the one who is rejected. And it's captured in that crucifix. There's the one who's rejected. Nothing in him to make us look at him, but as one despised, one from whom men hide their faces. And there comes that question. Do I want to be associated with that? The truth is, this is the question we have with being in front of any crucifix. This is the truth for any even bare cross. Do I want to be associated with the God who would let himself go through that? Rejected, a failure, betrayed, denied, without a friend in the world. Of course, Mary Magdalene, Mary's mom, John the Beloved. But I invite you to do this over the next couple of days. Whether you have a crucifix at the end of your rosary, or maybe on your neck, or maybe in your home, or maybe at church. Maybe this upcoming weekend, maybe you see a crucifix and just be able to say, Jesus, am I willing to be associated with you like that? Because that's one step. We have to take that step. Because why? Because Jesus associates himself with those who are rejected. Jesus associates himself with those who are poor, with those who are alienated, with those who are hated. Jesus associates himself with those who have nothing. Jesus associates himself with those from whom men hide their faces. I think in some ways it might seem like Christ associates himself with those whom the world finds repulsive, more than he associates with those who the world finds beautiful. Do I want to be associated with him? I think it's a thing worth praying about. Ultimately, of course, hopefully the answer is yes. Hopefully the answer is, as I'm standing there at the foot of this cross, I'm like, yes, Jesus, yes. I do. I want to be associated with you. I don't care how you look. I don't care how your people look. I just want to be associated with you. I want to belong to you. I want people to know that I belong to you. I think you might too. I think you might also want people to know that you belong to him. So we find him in the distressing disguise of a crucifix. We also, as Mother Teresa said, find him in the distressing disguise of the poor. Do I want to be associated with him? That's my prayer over this Triduum at the end of this Lent leading into Easter. Do I want to be associated with him? My answer is yes. I think yours is too. Anyways, from all of us here at Ascension Presents, my name's Father Mike. God bless.
That is actually a thing that I would really like to do one day one day it's most likely never going to happen, but just like actually have a conversation with this dude. I feel like that would be, but not really just a conversation, but also just like tuning into how he presents like his sermons or his, when he does his way of doing mass, basically, right? I feel like that would be very interesting to see, because the way that I've been raised is primarily in a Protestant way. And I don't know. I don't really feel like a big connection, because I did go to back to church like a couple months ago, like several times, but none of it sticks, basically. None of it sticks. None of the people there stick with me as well. And I find it, I don't know, it's weird how empty it felt. And for me, I've tried to have conversations with deeper meaning, but the moment that I had any questions, just basically not exactly criticizing, but actually genuinely asking questions about the validity of everything, that instantly I was looked with a side eye and just be a little bit, how would I say that? People were taking distance from me, basically. And for me, it's just like, I really want to know the truth, basically. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I want to know the truth. I want to discover things. I want to learn things. But with me asking like very critical questions, the people from the churches that I went to looked at me as if that I was some kind of an outsider. And that kind of sucked though, because prior to that, when I was like believing and saying and regurgitating everything that they told me, that then like I was seen as like the the wholesome child and this and that, back in the day, when I was growing up. But like they were happy that I returned. But the moment that the moment that I started asking questions, everything felt distant. And that really sucked though, because that is like with me going back into my faith step by step, I really wanted to just see like, what do you guys really think? Because back then I thought that like these were the people that I'm supposed to go to discover answers that I had basically about everything. But it feels like on paper, it sounds like they only just say the things that they see or that they read, and that's it. Like, sure, they can probably believe, like, I don't know, like 100% how they are or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like they just want to stick with whatever they are used to and don't really want to go outside their comfort bubble, right? Like they don't want to have any like very deep questions. And that's why like a couple months ago, I reached out to one of the pastors there, who now goes to a different church because he moved places. Basically like someone that I would see as like the father or the father figure of that church. And basically ask him questions like about the Bible and about like things in life and whatever. Yeah, with him, I had a very good conversation for sure. But like he was like the only one that I knew, and I did get basically the answer that I wanted or like at that time at least. But I should see that guy again and basically let him just be like, hey, what advice you have for me? Like, and just let him like guide me rather than just answering my questions, but also like kind of like show me some things that he would think like, yeah, this would be helpful in your case. And yeah, it's like at the church there, like it's very in neat surface level stuff. They would just say the same things over and over again without really answering my question. But as a little side note, I also seen this little bit, which was funny to me to see.
I came prepared.
No big deal, just going up against the Son of God.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
You are going down, my friend.
I don't know about that. I think you're going down.
I brought my own.
Of course you did. What? I'm Judas.
And I'm Jesus.
And this is Jack.
Best out of 5 throws wins. Let's see who goes first. Boulder, shears, parchment. Boulder, shears, parchment.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay, that was impressive. Okay, no big deal.
Sure you can get it out of the stump? Yeah.
Cool.
Round 2, fight!
Go, Jesus, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
This guy. Let's see what he's got.
Oh, shame. Oh.
At least you make contact.
Okay, it's you and me, little buddy.
Oh, stop milking it and get on with it.
Okay. What was that?
Nothing.
Is that conspiring? Can you do that?
So that's how it's done. Your move.
Any notes? Voice from above? No? I'm on my own? Figures.
It's all right. Was there ever any doubt? I did not lose.
I'm used to it.
He is. As you can see, the score was 7-6. You lost very graciously.
I did.
Not that graciously, but you could have been more gracious.
Oh, no. I guess it just wasn't my day. It almost never is.
It's not the worst of the incidents to come.
It's not? It gets worse?
Well, rope burns are what you should worry about.
Hey there, I'm down.
Goes first. Boulder, shears, parchment.
Cool.
Round 2. Fight! Go.
Just funny just how silly these two are.